Namo Namaha Bhavtam Sarvesham Hardam Swagatam. Welcome back to my channel Sanskrit Sopanam. I hope you're doing great. I'm also good. And again, continuing in a series learning Sanskrit through Gita, today we will decode the 20th shloka of the chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita. And along with the 20th shloka, we will also take a look at the first line of the 21st shloka. Why? Because that line is important to establish the context of the 20th shloka. So that will be it. And a simple shloka. Through this shloka, for the very first time, we will touch up on a topic, Sati Saptami. So Sati Saptami Prayoga, this is a very interesting, very cool concept in Sanskrit. What is it, how it works, everything we will look in the shloka. So as always, I have the shlokas ready with me. Let me go through the shloka once. At vyavasthitan drishtva dhartarashtran kapidhvajah pravritte shastra sampate dhanurudyamya pandavah. And then, as I said, we'll also include the first line of 21st shloka. So that is the first line. Arjuna uvach rishikesham tada vakyamidamaha mahipate. So that is what we are going to decode today. And this is the Sandhi Vichhed version of the 20th shloka. So only one Sandhi happening. You see this word Dhanurudyamya. It breaks as Dhanuhu Udyamya. So this is a Rutva Sandhi. What is it? How it operates? Again, everything is in the PDF file. PDF file you can download from the link in the description box. So download that file, go through all the word by word decoding of this shloka and also the Sandhi section. It explains everything. And for this line, actually, the first line of 21st shloka, this actually does not have any Sandhi. So you see this word, Vakyam idamaha. It also breaks down as Vakyam idam aha. But this is actually not a Sandhi. This is just a Halant consonant that is combining with an adjacent vowel, a swara. So Vakyam, it combines with idam, it becomes Vakyam idam. And then the word combines with aha, so the entire word becomes Vakyam idam aha. This is just how the words in Sanskrit, they attach together. And so now we'll start the decoding process. So we'll start with an anchor word, aha. So this anchor word is coming from this, the 21st shloka line. And that's why I said that we have to take this line, because this line is important to establish the context of this particular shloka, 20th shloka that we will decode. So we are starting with this word, aha. Aha. Aha simply means speaks. So he speaks, she speaks. But in our context of the shloka, we already know that this is in regards to Arjuna. So he speaks. Aha. Now this particular verb form, Kriya Pad, this comes from the root, the dhatu, bru. Bru dhatu means to speak. Bru dhatu means to this speak. And in third person singular form ekvachan present tense, that is lit lakar in Sanskrit, this bru, it changes into aha. Now this is an irregular verb form. Why? Because the more common verb form should be braviti. He speaks, sah braviti, and I speak, aham bravimi. This is how typically this particular verb root dhatu, it declines. But this is an irregular verb form. That's why I said irregular. But this means aha. This means same as braviti. So moving forward, kaha, who? Obvious question that he speaks. Now I'm asking who speaks. And the response is Pandavaha aha. So again, Pandav, this is coming from, see here. So Pandavaha aha, he speaks. And with this particular Pandava, Pandav we already know. Pandav means a descendant of King Pandu. And here the Pandava is referring to the Pandava Arjuna. This we already know with the context of shloka. And since he is the karta, he is the speaker, the subject here, that's why he is in first case, first word case, prathama vibhakti. So Pandav, the base word, it changes into Pandavaha. Pandavaha aha, simply meaning Pandava Arjuna, he speaks. That is the sense here. And we will move on. And now the question is Kidrashaha, what like? So Kidrasha we use in order to identify the adjective, how this particular person, Arjuna, he is being described in the shloka. So Kidrashaha, what like? And the answer is Kapidhvajaha Pandavaha. Now this word Kapidhvajaha, this you can already guess is a combination word, a samas. And this is made by Kapi plus Dhvajaha. This Kapi, this is a Sanskrit for monkey. This Kapi, in literally it means monkey. But in the context of the shloka, this monkey, this is referring to Lord Hanuman. And Dhvajaha, this means flag. So Kapi, this means Lord Hanuman. Dhvajaha, this means flag. And the entire combination, samas, this means the flag on which there is an inscription of Lord Hanuman. There is a photograph of Lord Hanuman. Okay. And again, if you know the context of Mahabharata, you know that Arjuna and Krishna, the chariot they were driving, on that chariot there was a flag, and on that flag there was an inscription of Lord Hanuman. That's why the Arjuna he is being referred to as someone with Lord Hanuman's flag. That is the sense this word is trying to imply here. Now I have mentioned before also this technical term samas, a combination word. But we have not touched upon this topic, that samas, how it operates. Because when you see the words like this, kapi dhwajaha, so you know the individual meaning now. Kapi means monkey, that is referring to Lord Hanuman. Dhwajaha, this means flag. But I will quickly show you that how you can try to arrive at the meanings of samas. You can try to break them open as what they are intended to mean. How so? This kapi dhwaja, you can think of it as kapihi, that means monkey, that means Lord Hanuman here, and dhwaje. So you see this word dhwaje. So we know the base word, the pratipadik dhwaj. Dhwaj, we know it means flag. And if I am writing it as dhwaje, so you can already guess this is in seventh case. This is in Saptami Vibhakti. Now what is seventh case or Saptami Vibhakti? Why we use it? We use it when we want to imply the sense on something, in something. So if I want to say on the tree, so I will say vrakshe. Vraksh changes into vrakshe. That is the seventh case. That means on the tree. So dhwaj, when I'm writing it as dhwaje, you can understand the meaning here is on the flag. This is the sense here. And now if you will read it along this word, so you can write here as Hanuman on the flag. This simply means that there is an inscription of Lord Hanuman on that flag. If you read it this way, Kapihi Dhwaja Yasya. So Kapihi Dhwaja, you already know that on the flag there is inscription of Lord Hanuman, and Yasya. Yasya means one whose. One whose. So one on whose flag there is Lord Hanuman. So the Pandava, the Arjuna here, he is being described as one on whose flag there is the inscription of Lord Hanuman. This is how the single word Kapi Dhwaja, this can completely open up as Kapihi Dhwaja Yasya Saha Pandavaha Arjuna. This is how in Sanskrit you actually break the samas. But again, if you don't understand this right now, don't need to worry about it. Just knowing the individual meanings of the words that are combined in a combination word in a samas, you can already arrive at the meaning as per the context. So right now we can skip this samas, and that's what I'm doing. That samas, I intend to take it in future videos. So don't worry about this samas right now. Whenever any combination samas word will occur in the shloka, what I can do is I can write how it opens up into Sanskrit. So maybe just by looking at this, intuitively you'll start to understand how this samas combination words mean. But if you don't worry, I'll make a separate video on samas in the future sometime. Okay, so aha, he speaks. We asked the question kaha, who speaks? And the answer was Pandavaha, that is referring to Pandav Arjunaha. He speaks. Then Kidrishaha, how was Arjuna like? How was it he described? So he was described as Kapidwaja, as one with Lord Hanuman's flag on his chariot. This extra information we already know because we know the context of Mahabharata. With this, I'll move on in the shloka. And now the question is come to whom? That Arjuna spoke, Arjuna says this, but Arjuna says this to whom? That is the question here. And the response is Rishikesham. Rishikesham, this comes from the base word Rishikesh. So this is the base word, the Pratipadik here. And since Rishikesh, that is Krishna, so Rishikesh is another name of Lord Krishna. And since Lord Krishna, he is the object here, he is the karma here. Arjuna says whatever he says to Krishna. So he is the object, the karma here. That's why this Pratipadik, it changes into Dvitiya Vibhakti, that is the second word case. So in Dvitiya Vibhakti, second word case, Rishikesh, it will decline as Rishikesham. That is what it is written in the shloka. Kapi Dhujaha Pandavaha, Rishikesham Aha. That Arjuna, one with the Lord Hanuman's flag, he says to Krishna. Okay, so we'll move on. And now the question is, Kim, what? Like, what does he say? And the response is idam vakyam. So this word vakyam, this you can already guess, this comes from the base word, the pratipadik vakya. Vakya means a speech, a sentence. So vakya, that is the meaning here. And idam, this comes from the base word, the pratipadik with the same name, idam. This is a pronoun which means this. So this sentence, we want to convey this sentence. So Arjuna says this sentence to Krishna. That is the sense up till here. Okay, so far so good. So we'll move on with the shloka. Now the question is Kim Kritva. Kim Kritva means after doing what? So you see this word Kritva. I hope you remember this word. This is using a suffix that we have already seen before. This suffix, twa suffix. Why we use twa suffix? We use twa suffix to modify any verb root, any dhatu, so that it means after doing whatever the action is. Here the action is to do. So after doing. If here it have been pat. So pat plus twa, that will simply means after studying. Or suppose if you have this dhatu, vad. So vad dhatu means to speak. And if I use this particular suffix with this dhatu, so it will mean after speaking. So this is how this particular suffix, this particular pratyay modifies the verb root, the dhatu. So kri plus tva, the verb form becomes kritva, simply meaning after doing what. So I am asking this question and the response is drishtva, after seeing. So you can already guess drishtva, this comes from the dhatu, the root drish. Drish dhatu means to see. So to see, this is the dhatu, and since I want to convey that after seeing, that's why I am combining it with this pratyay, tva pratyay. And when it combines with drish, it becomes drishtva. Drishtva, after seeing. That is the sense here. And now the immediate question will be, you can already guess, after seeing whom? Like he's seeing, what is he seeing? After seeing whom? And the answer is Dhartarashtran. That means after seeing Dhritarashtra people, that is the Kaurava people. So let us understand this word, Dhartarashtran. So this particular word, Dhartarashtra, was also available in the previous shloka that we decoded. Dhartarashtra is an apatyavachak sangya. What are apatyavachak sangya? Those nouns that are derived from some other noun to show the lineage of someone. That in order to convey the lineage of Dhritarashtra, Dhritarashtra people, Dhritarashtra son. So we use this Dhartarashtra. Okay. And why Dhartarashtran? So again, you can guess this particular Pratipadik is also in second word case, Dvitiya Vibhakti and plural. Because again, he is referring to all the Kaurava people. So Bahuvachan, plural. So second case, plural, Dhartarashtra, it changes into Dhartarashtran. Similarly, just as Ram, in Dvitiya Vibhakti, it changes as Ramam. But that is the Ekvachan, single form. In plural, this will change as Raman. So same is happening here. Dhartarashtra changes into Dhartarashtran. Simply meaning Arjuna, after seeing Dhartarashtran, that is after seeing the Kaurava people, after seeing all the Kaurava people that are present in the battlefield in Kurukshetra. Okay, so far so good. And let us move on. So again, a similar question, Kidrishan. Now I am using this Kidrishan to describe all the Dhritarashtra people, that how are these people, Kaurava people, how they are described in the shloka. So Kidrishan. And answer is Vyavasthitan. So Vyavasthit, this is the base word, the Pratipadik here. Vyavasthit means someone who is established, someone who is stationed. Okay. And since this particular word Vyavasthit, this is describing Dhartarashtran, so this will also assume the same. Second case, plural form, because adjectives, they follow their noun. So Vyavasthit also will change into Vyavasthitan. That is what we see in the shloka. Vyavasthitan Dhartarashtran. That all the Dhritarashtra people, all the Kaurava people, those who were stationed at their respective battlefronts. This extra piece of information, at their respective battlefronts, I am adding because we know the context of the shloka, of the situation here. Okay, so let us recap up till here. Kapidhwaja Pandava. Arjuna, the one with the flag of Lord Hanuman, Aha, says Idam Vakyam, this sentence, Rishikesham, to Krishna, to Shri Krishna, Dhartarashtran Drishtva, after seeing the Kaurava people. So he must have seen all the Kaurava people, and what sort of Kaurava people? Vyavasthitan, all the Kaurava people that were stationed at their respective battlefronts. So he must have seen all those Kaurava people, all the Kaurava army, and then he says this sentence to Rishikesh. What sentence? We'll decode further. Okay, so now the follow-up question is Yada. Yada, this is an indeclinable. This is an avyay. Yada means when. Similarly, as you have a similar kind of words, no, tada. Tada, this means then. Then you have kada. Kada is when we want to ask the question, that when. This is the sense here. So similar kind of questions. So yada is the question, when. And the response is Shastra Sampate Privritte. And these words mean when the descent of weapons was about to happen. And instead of descent, you can also think of it as clash. That when the clash of weapons was about to happen. This is the sense these words are providing. And now these two words are using something that is called as Sati Saptami use. So these words, they are being modified by using a concept Sati Saptami. That is what I mentioned in the introduction part of the video, that we'll quickly take a look at what is Sati Saptami, how it operates. So in order to understand this, let me take you to a few other examples. So let us take a simple sentence. When Rama went, then his father cried. So this is the sentence here, that when Rama went away, his father cried. And in Sanskrit, we can write as Yada Ramaha Gataha tada tasya pita arodat. So when Ramaha went, then tasya means his father arodat. So arodat, this comes from the root word rud. Rud means to cry. And arodat, this is in past tense form, lang lakar. And let us understand this word also, gataha. So gataha, this comes from the root, the dhatu gam. Gam dhatu means to go. And we have modified this dhatu using another suffix, that is ta suffix. And what this suffix, this pratyay do, it changes the dhatu, it modifies the verb into meaning someone who has already done this action. So the word here becomes gata. Gat means someone who has gone. So in order to show that the action has already been done by someone, we use this suffix to modify the dhatu here. So again, if we'll take another verb root, patha, pat means to study. And if we use this suffix to modify this dhatu, so the word will become patha. This will be the base word, the pratipadik, the new modified pratipadik. And this patha will mean someone who has studied. This will be the sense here. And suppose we take another verb root, creed. Creed means to play. And again, we modified this particular verb root also using this suffix ta. So it will change this creed into creedit. So creed, that means to play. We modify using this ta suffix. It changes into creedit. This pratipadik, this base refers to someone who has already played, who has played. So that was the use of ta suffix. So gata here, again, someone who has already gone. So when Rama was gone, when Rama went, tada, then his father, arodat, his father cried. This is the Sanskrit sentence here. Now pay attention to how this Sati Saptami Prayog changes this part of the line. Yada Ramaha Gata. When Rama went. So in order to rewrite this line, we can also rewrite it as Rame Gate. And this Rame Gate, this will mean the same thing as Yada Ramaha Gataha. And what we are doing actually, if you think about is, so you have a noun here. You have the noun here, Ram. This is the base word, the Pratipadik here. And then you have the verb-based adjective, Gata here. Okay. So you have a noun, Rama, and then you have a verb-based adjective, Gata. And together this was meaning Ramaha Gata. That means Rama went. That was the sense here. And Yada, when Ramaha went. So that was the sense here. And to rewrite it, what you simply do is, both of these words, the noun and the verb-based adjective, you change them into their seventh word case, Saptami Vibhakti. So Ram in Saptami Vibhakti changes as Rame, and Gata also will change as Gate. And that is what is written here, Rame Gate. So when both the noun and the verb-based adjective, they are changed into their seventh form, that is Sati Saptami Prayog. And that's why you have Saptami here also in the name of the concept. Because both of them are changed into their Saptami usage. This is how you rewrite this into this. Now let us take another example with the words that are actually present in our shloka in hand. So yada shastra sampat privrittah tada whatever happens. So this word shastra sampat. So this sampat, this means clash. This means clash. And shastra, you already know, means weapon. Shastra sampat, again, this is the combination word samas. The meaning here is simple, clash of weapons. So when shastra sampat, that means clash of weapons, privrittah. So this word privrittah, this comes from the root vrit. Vrit means to commence or to begin. Okay. And again, if we'll modify this using the ta suffix, so vrit, this dhatu, when we combine it, when we modify it using the ta suffix, the new resultant word, the resultant pratipadik, it becomes vrit. And vrit means something that began. It changes into the past form. So something that began or something that commenced. And here in our shloka, we have privritta. So we are using this prefix, this upsarga, privritta. So this, what does this upsarg do? This actually adds a bit of a special meaning, as all the prefixes do. Prefixes, they add an additional meaning based on the context of the shloka, based on the situation. So privritta, this entire word privritta, this simply means was about to commence. This thing, no, was about to, that it did not begin, it was about to begin, it was about to start. Okay. So in all, yada shastra sampatah privrittah, when the clash of weapons, privrittah, was about to begin, was about to commence, then tada. So this is how we can write this particular sentence in the Sanskrit form. But if we want to apply the Sati Saptami Prayog here, we can modify it as Shastra Sampate Privritte. So we have taken the noun Shastra Sampat, the base word, the Pratipadik of the noun Shastra Sampat, and then we have taken the Pratipadik of the verb-based adjective that is describing this noun. So Privritta, and we have modified them using the Saptami Vibhakti, that is the seventh case. So Shastra Sampat, it changes into Shastra Sampate. Similarly, Privritta, it also changes into Privritte. Both of these words changed into their seventh case, Saptami Vibhakti form, and they convey the same meaning as this line, that Shastra Sampate Privritte, simply meaning when the Shastra Sampat, clash of weapons, Privritte, was about to commence, was about to happen. So this is how Sati Saptami Prayog modifies a particular sentence into something else. Okay, and how do you identify this actually? So you can identify the use of Sati Saptami that whenever in any Sanskrit text you encounter any two words, any two adjacent words, both of them which are in seventh case, both of them are in seventh case, and then you can identify that one of those words will be a noun and one of those words will be derived from a verb. So it will be a verb based adjective. So in most cases there will be some noun, there will be some verb based adjective, and when both of them together are in seventh case, so you can very well take a guess that this is in Sati Saptami Prayog. When you add this, because you know how to decode a Sati Saptami Prayoga, and when Shastra Sampat, that is clash of weapons, descent of weapons, whatever you want to say, Privritte, was about to happen. This is how the Sati Saptami Prayog can be decoded. Okay, and the sense up till here is that Arjuna, he says this sentence to Rishikesha after seeing all the Dhritarashtra people, all the Kaurava people who were stationed at their respective positions, and Shastra Sampate Privritte, and when the descent of weapons was about to happen, was about to begin. So the war has not happened yet, it has not started yet, but at any moment it can start, it is just about to start. So then he says this sentence to Rishikesha, that is the sense here. So Kim Kritva, having done what? So there is still a bit of more information in the shloka. What is that shloka information? Let us see. So having done what? The response is Udyamya. So this particular verb Udyamya, this comes from the root yam. Yam means to lift, and here it is accompanied by a prefix, a upsarga, ut. So ut prefix generally adds the meaning of up or upward motion. So along with yam, that means to lift, when you add this ut, so the sense here is to lift up. That is the sense this prefix is adding here. Okay, but I want to say that after lifting up or having lifted up, I want to convey this sense. So you know that when I want to convey this sense, that after doing this, having done this, I use either twa suffix that is being used here. See, kritva. I use either this twa suffix or I use lyap suffix. Okay, so again, both of these suffixes, pratyay, we have already seen before. Both of them implies the sense that after doing the action, having done the action. And what is the difference between these two? That why not use only twa? So twa is used by the dhatus that don't have any prefix or upsarg. But if the dhatu, if the verb root is along with an upsarg, so we use lyap instead. Okay, and here since our dhatu, our verb root, this is accompanied by a upsarg, a prefix ut, we are not using twa, we are instead using lyap. And by the way, these pratyay, these suffixes name no. So think of it like this is a wrapper. This is just a wrapper. But when they actually attach with a verb root, a dhatu, only a portion of them gets attached. So in case of twa, this half ka, this gets dropped in most cases. That's why you see also here that when kri combines with this twa suffix, only the twa attaches. That's why the resultant word becomes kritva. Similarly, when the dhatu pat, it attaches with this twa suffix, again only the twa remains. So patitva. That is how the verb changes. And with the case of lyap, in most cases only this ya attaches. And that's why when we want to attach this lyap with this dhatu, gam dhatu, that means to go, which has a prefix to it, so the entire word becomes agamya. This agamya, because in most cases only this part, this ya attaches to the actual verb root. So these suffixes and pratyay, all these, their words, their technical term may be different, but think of them only as a wrapper. That is just a wrapper. What actually combines, that is different, and with practice you get to know what actually combines. But anyways, coming back to our this verb udyamya, so ut plus yam plus lyap, this suffix, because I want to show after lifting up, having lifted up, this is the sense I want to show. So this entirely, this word, when it combines together due to sandhi and all, this changes into udyamya, simply meaning having lifted up. And immediately a follow-up question will be, having lifted what? And the response is dhanuhu udyamya. So having lifted up the bow, dhanu means bow. And since we already know that the bow of Arjuna, that was a very famous bow that was given to him as a boon by Lord Varuna, and the name was Gandiva. So Dhanuhu Udyamya, having lifted up his bow, that means Gandiva. And this word here, Dhanuhu. So if you remember the previous shloka also, we had this word, Nabha. And I mentioned the same thing there also, that this Nabha, this at first look may look like that this is in first case, Prathama Vibhakti form, because we are very used to this. Guru, it changes into Guruhu in Prathama Vibhakti. Rama, it changes into Ramaha in Prathama Vibhakti, first case. So whenever we encounter this Visarga, we can assume that this is in first case. But Nabha in the previous shloka and Dhanu in this shloka, both of them, they are not in first case, they are rather in second case. Why? Because they are the object, they are the karma of this action. So having lifted up the bow. So since they are the karma, they are the object of the action, on them the action is happening. So they will assume the second word case. The base, the pratipadik for this word is dhanush. This is a shakarant word. This is ending with a sha. So dhanush, the pratipadik changes into dhanuhu. Okay, that is the sense here. And with this, I think we have completed the shloka. So let's take a look at the rearrangement along with the translation. At kapi dhwajaha. Okay, so this atha, this is an indeclinable or an avyay, and this has a particular meaning, that means thereafter. So again, since all these events, they are happening like adjacent events, like continuous events. So from the previous shloka, whatever happened in the previous shloka, continuing with the series of events that is happening. So ath, thereafter, kapi dhwajaha pandavaha, Arjuna, kapi dhwaja, the one with Lord Hanuman's flag on his chariot. Vyavasthitan dhartarashtran drishtva. That drishtva means after seeing what? Dhartarashtran, after seeing the Kaurava people. And how were they? They were vyavasthitan. They were all stationed at their respective battlefronts. So having seen that army people, shastra sampate privritte, the sati saptami prayog, shastra sampate privritte, simply meaning when the descent of weapons, that is shastra sampat, was about to happen. Privritte. Dhanuhu udyamya, having lifted up, udyamya, having lifted up, what? Dhanuhu, his bow, that is Gandiva. So Arjuna, having seen all the Kaurava warriors when the battle was about to happen, after lifting up his bow, maybe he was sitting, he stood up. So having lifted up his bow, tada, then Rishikesham to Krishna, idam vakyam aha, says this sentence to Krishna. And what does he say? We'll take a look at the next shloka that will decode. But that is the entire translation here. So yeah, that was it. That was the entire decoding of the shloka. Through the shloka, we saw how Sati Saptami Prayog is used in Sanskrit. And we also revised few of the suffixes or pratyaya that we have seen before. Okay, so I'll meet you in the next video. Until then, Vayam Punah Milamaha. Dhanyavad.